I made a video where I set up the SnapBridge app. It was terrible. Seriously, I was so annoyed by the end of it. Since then, I've heard from lots of folks that they agree that the app was difficult to set up and not very useful. Some even deleted the app. I've heard from a few people that said that I'm nuts and they had an easy time setting it up because they used the manual and followed the directions. I'm still disappointed that it wasn't more intuitive to get started. Anyway, Nikon released an update to the app since then, so I updated it when I updated my phone to iOS 10, and then I was ready to play with it. I went into my studio this morning to test out using SnapBridge with my D500 for taking self-portraits. Now it's also simple September, so I kept it really simple. Jeans, tank top, no dramatic lighting. This was convenient because getting to know SnapBridge and how it works was really my main concern. Okay, like I said, my initial reaction was not so good, but I did try to keep an open mind this morning. I took a deep breath when I turned airplane mode off on the D500 and I opened SnapBridge on my phone. Luckily, and a little surprisingly, now that my phone and my camera know each other a little better, it was much easier to get started. I opened the app, switched over to the camera's Wi-Fi network, and was able to take photos immediately. That being said, every time I turned off my phone's screen, I had to redo the Wi-Fi selection process. Every time I wanted to make a settings change in the menus on the camera, I had to disconnect and then reselect the Wi-Fi network. It was tedious in the beginning. Once I got myself all set up though, I was able to get into position, focus on myself, and take photos with little difficulty. Good news. There were a couple issues though. For me, hiding the phone in the photo is a real chore, but that happens with pretty much all remotes. It isn't specific to SnapBridge. My main complaint was that I could take only one photo at a time. Typically, when I take self-portraits, I use interval timer or the newer self-timer features where you can press the shutter release, have that self-timer delay, but then the camera takes multiple photos in a row. It's helpful for me because I can get into a bit of a groove and make small adjustments to a pose, and hopefully one of them will be a good photo to keep. Taking one photo at a time and then having to reset myself to press the shutter release again really puts a damper on the flow of the shoot. I tried to switch my camera over to self-timer, but SnapBridge ignored that and continued to take one photo right away. I did, however, find the self-timer option in SnapBridge. There is an option to turn it on, and it will give you a 2-second delay after you hit the shutter release button on the phone screen. Okay, now that I've complained, let me tell you what I like about SnapBridge. First, I really like that I can easily move the focus area by tapping the phone screen, and then the camera holds that area, but then refocuses when the photo is taken. Focus is by far the biggest challenge for me when I'm taking self-portraits because I tend to like to move a little bit in between shots, so that aspect was awesome. 2, I'm glad there is a self-timer option. I wish I could choose to take a few photos in a row without having to press the shutter release multiple times, but the self-timer option is at least something. And 3rd, while I do think there could be some additional functionality to the app, it is simple to navigate. There isn't a lot to distract you on the screen. So that's it, guys. I have one of today's self-portraits up at snapchick.com along with technical specs like the lens and my settings. There's a link in the description below that will take you right to it. VIPs, when you're there, be sure to log in so you can see the entire gallery of images plus an extra video where I share more behind the scenes video of the setup of the shoot, and then I discuss the mechanics of the shoot later in more detail. So will I use SnapBridge for all of my self-portrait shoots from now on? As it stands, probably not. But I may use it from time to time for simple shots or for transferring photos to my phone while I'm on the go. Tell me about you though. Have you used SnapBridge? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments below.